Hello everyone. Today I am taking you to the American Midwest, to the vast cornfields and quiet riverbanks of Illinois. From the outside, this place looks like the center of peace, hard work, and the American dream. But sometimes, beneath that fertile soil or along the muddy banks of a river, lie dark secrets that push the boundaries of the human mind. Today's story is about Fred Grabbe. It is the story of a man who thought he was untouchable, who treated his family like property, and who decided to erase his wife Charlotte simply because he saw her as a problem. This isn't just a murder case. It is a tale of arrogance, pure narcissism, and one of the most savage methods of evidence disposal I have ever encountered in my years of research. Let's go back to 1981 to Clark County. Fred Grabbe was like a king in this town. A wealthy farmer, a successful businessman. To the outside world, he was a pillar of the community, a respected figure. He had power, he had money, and he was used to getting whatever he wanted. But once the doors of the Grabbe household closed, a different world, a living hell existed inside. For his wife of 23 years, Charlotte Grabbe, life was a nightmare. To Fred, Charlotte wasn't a life partner. She was just a possession he owned. Close friends and family would later recount how Fred controlled her every move, barely letting her breathe. But it wasn't just control. There was physical violence, psychological terror, and there was a third person. Fred had a mistress named Vicky McCattery, and Fred, with his narcissistic nature, didn't even feel the need to hide it. He wanted to start a new life with Vicky, but divorce wasn't an option for him. Why? Because in Fred Grabbe's world, divorce meant losing half of his assets. He couldn't bear to share his empire with anyone, especially not with the wife he wanted to get rid of. So, he made a horrific decision. Charlotte shouldn't just leave. Charlotte had to cease to exist. On July 24, 1981, Charlotte vanished into thin air. Fred told everyone the same story. She packed her bag and left. She finally had enough and ran away. Now let's pause and think about this for a second. This is the oldest lie in the murderer's playbook, isn't it? The runaway wife scenario. But Charlotte had left behind her medicine. She left her glasses, her contact lenses, and all her personal belongings. Would a woman starting a new life leave behind the lenses she needs to see? No. This wasn't an escape. This was an interruption of a life. For 3 years, 3 long years, Fred went on with his life as if nothing had happened. He even moved his mistress, Vicky, into the house. The police were suspicious, of course, and the town was full of rumors. But there was no body, no weapon, and no crime scene. Just a missing person file. Fred thought he had committed the perfect murder. But a secret shared by 3 people never stays a secret forever. Fred's magical relationship with Vicky began to crack. Fred started inflicting the same violence on Vicky that he had used on Charlotte. And Vicky, she got scared. Perhaps she sensed she would be next. In 1984, she decided to go to the police. And the story she told them was truly blood-curdling. According to Vicky's testimony, on that July day, Fred and Charlotte got into a massive argument at the farm. The argument turned violent, and Fred strangled his wife of 23 years, the mother of his children, right there. But the real horror began after she was dead. Fred wasn't content with just burying the body or weighing it down in the river. He wanted absolutely no trace of Charlotte left. He took her lifeless body to the banks of the Wabash River, to a secluded spot hidden by willow trees. This is the point where Fred Grabbe transforms from a murderer into a monster. He built a large pyre by the riverbank. He used diesel fuel, petroleum, and he set his wife's body on fire. Vicky told police that he didn't just light the fire and walk away. He stayed there for hours. He kept adding fuel to the flames, making an inhuman effort to ensure that even the bones were reduced to ash. His goal wasn't just to kill. It was to wipe Charlotte from existence. He thought, if there is no body, there is no crime. He was so arrogant that he believed he could literally evaporate a human being. But he was wrong. Even fire leaves a trace. Based on Vicky's confession, police searched that riverbank. And there, mixed into the soil, barely visible to the naked eye, they found tiny fragments of bone. Calcified, burnt human bone. It wasn't much, but it belonged to Charlotte. That tiny piece of evidence was enough to bring down Fred's empire. Even when Fred Grabbe was arrested and brought to trial, his attitude didn't change. He displayed incredible arrogance. Even looking at the jury in the courtroom, he saw himself as superior to them. He couldn't believe he had been caught. Prosecutors painted him as a tyrant who slaughtered his wife not out of sudden passion, but purely out of greed and selfishness. And the jury was convinced. Fred Grabbe was found guilty of murder and sentenced to life in prison. When I look at this case, what strikes me most is the cold calculation. Fred didn't just kill Charlotte. He tried to annihilate her memory, her presence, everything about her. Just imagine, people walking past that riverbank might have seen the smoke and thought a farmer was just burning brush. Yet, a tragedy was being covered up right there. Charlotte Grabbe didn't run away. Her life was stolen from her in the most brutal way. Thankfully, justice arrived, even if it took time. Fred didn't get to enjoy his beloved money or his farm. He died in prison in 2014 behind bars. This story reminds us, friends, sometimes the scariest monsters aren't hiding under the bed. Sometimes, those monsters are the ones sitting at the head of the dinner table, looking respectable. In the next video, we will open another dark case file. Until then, take care of yourselves and stay safe.